Hello, and welcome to an introduction to GarrysMod SCK. In this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a project and the general use of the SCK tool. Let's get started. With GM Construct loaded up, I'll go ahead and open up our spawn list. In the Weapons tab, if you have the SWEP Construction tool downloaded and installed in the add-ons folder, you can scroll down to Other, and in this tab, you'll find the SWEP Construction Kit tool. Pulling this up, you'll be handed a pistol. Left-clicking will bring open the tool menu. In this menu, you can see a lot of the animations present for the weapon that we're holding. Let's go ahead and get started by changing that weapon. Let's go to the Weapon tab. In the Weapon tab, you'll have your View model, your World model, and several just cosmetic options as you debug and test and create your models. You can also change settings such as the FOV that the model is viewed at. This can be important for just aspect ratio things, just fine-tuning, if you'd like a pistol to seem up close or further away, things like that. Just below that, we've got options for our bones. If we open up this dialog box, you'll see that there's all of the bones that are present in this animation. We click on something like the weapon clip, and we use the scale. Go ahead and scale something like that up. You can see that we're able to edit the model quite easily, and this is the bone itself. Let's go ahead and get started on making something a little bit different. Let's browse what other animations we can go through. We open up the View model options here and go through and open up the models folder. Scroll down until you hit the weapons folder, and in here will be all your loaded games and content with their animations. We'll load the 357 from Half-Life. If we go ahead and look over, got all these different animations that it comes with. We can even do some things such as change the playback on them to see how they play out, just if other things were to take place, they were coded differently. Now, the Iron Sights tab. This is something that you can mess around with. Similar to editing the bones, you can get a different aspect of what you're looking at and where your model is in relation to the view. We'll move on, as there's not much else to say about that. In the View Models tab, this is where we're going to be doing the bulk of our work. This is where you're going to start introducing things such as models, quads, which are placeholder items that can be tied to in Lua that don't have any real visual representation when used, and sprites. Let's go ahead and get started with models. Starting with models, what you've got here in this dialog box is the name of something that you're going to introduce. So let's give it a view model, and we'll call this one the grip. Add that. Now when we open up the grip that we've just added, we've got the name, we've got the model, and we've got the bone that it's tied to. Let's go ahead and work with the bone that it's tied to. We want something that the grip is attached to on our view model, such as this python. This will be the pistol itself. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close the tool, press Q, and go to our spawn list, and find a model that I like to be for the grip. We'll use this propane tank. Right-clicking and copying its file path to the clipboard, we can open up our tool with left click one more time once we're out of the spawn list and press to paste into the model dialog box. This will go ahead and bring that model into wherever we have for our bone and model position. I'm going to scale it down just so that we have a better view of our model itself. Let's go ahead and see if we can rotate it a bit. Okay. I would like to get it in place of something like a grip. So let's angle it down a little bit. Seems like 70 degrees looks about right. Seems like the position needs to be edited now to get more within the hand. Alright, we'll send it down 3 units. Now we're working with our front and back, our depth. Looks like another 3 units, and we've just about got it. Let's go ahead and lock our view model in the world space, and if we close our view and look around, we'll see, as well as move around, we'll see that our model is still in place in the aspect that it was, but now our camera is free. Looks like we could do a little bit better job of matching that propane tank up to the hand. We'll move it back just a bit more, to 4. We can increase the size as well, maybe making it a little bit more stout and a bit more round. Let's see. Seems like 3.5 is a good thickness. Let's make it a little bit more stout. That seems about right. We'll go ahead and leave it at that and tie something else to a different bone. Let's go ahead and do something with this cylinder. I'm going to create a new name for it. We'll go ahead and change the bone to the cylinder itself. We'll grab something that we can put in place of a cylinder. Let's get something like this mine. Go ahead and copy it and paste it into the dialog box. Scale it down to something that we can represent and look at easily in relation to everything else. And we can do things, we'll edit it so that we can see that big red eye out of it and know that when we do something like fire, does the barrel rotate? Let's change the playback speed and we'll see. So it looks like the cylinder doesn't even rotate when firing. Real downside of this animation, but you'd hardly notice it anyways. Regardless, now when we do things like reload, we've got an item like a propane tank that's tied to the weapon itself, and then a cylinder that moves with the weapon. Now let's make one more detail, and that's the barrel. Let's get something like, well, you know what? We can't go wrong with another propane tank. Here's what we're going to do. Seeing as this is already tied to the body of the weapon itself and isn't going to move around in the animation, something that we want the barrel to do as well, be tied to the body, we're going to go ahead and copy the selected item, grip. This will introduce us an item with the pretext of plus, or the suffix of plus, and we will be able to change this and rotate it and have a new item, same place, but now let's try moving it into more of a position for a barrel. So we'll move it forward 4 units. Let's go ahead and adjust the size as well. Give it 3. And we can rotate it. With that rotation, we might bring it back just a bit. Now we've got an interesting weapon coming along here. We'll go ahead and turn off the weapon model itself. And now, if we unlock the view model and put it back in our hands, we look around, we can do things like fire it and reload. And there you have it. A simple use of the tool to get familiar with it, to show you the size scaling that you can do with models, tying it to a bone, grabbing things from the spawn list. You can even go so far as to grab things from your other tools, such as material and paint, and you can right click for these pathways as well. And if you scroll down in these models, you've got options for color and lighting and material. We go ahead and change this. We can put a flat debug texture on all of it, and we'll color it just a bit dark let's maybe recolor this a little bit bright. Now, got something resembling a little bit more of an interesting weapon. Obviously, this is a long way to go before it's a true finished product and something that you can be proud of. But to get familiar with the tools, hopefully this is enough to get you started. That'll be all for today. Thank you for watching.